Hi, I'm Craig. And does this ghost want to throw hands? Well, yes. Yes, it does.
Hi, I'm Shandi, and would you dare to visit the Dumas with me?
Ooh. Hi, I'm Kylee, and what would you do if you saw the lady in blue? And this is Seance with My Siblings, Haunted Brothels edition. Ooh.
Welcome to the Seance.
Yeah.
All right, we're going back to 1889 for a second.
Hell yeah.
And for a brief moment. In 1889, a retired sea captain named Henry L. Tibbles, love that name.
What a silly name.
Well, it is a silly name. He built the Palace Hotel in the heart of Port Townsend. It stands as one of the many stately buildings that line Water Street. The Palace Hotel has lived many lives, from a billiard parlor and saloon to a town newspaper. However, from 1925 to 1933, it operated as both a hotel and a brothel, which garnered it the nickname Palace of Sweets.
Ooh. Kinky.
Although the brothel shut down in the mid-1930s, some of the women never completely left. So, this hotel has a hella rad book called The Ghost Book. It's filled with ghost stories and experiences from previous guests. So let's meet the main characters of this ghost book. We have the Lady in Blue. The most famous haunt of the Palace Hotel is the Lady in Blue. It's believed that the Lady in Blue was a woman named Claire, who occupied room number 4 when the hotel was a brothel. Claire has a portrait at the top of the stairs in this hotel.
Oh, I love that.
Yes,
That's cute.
there's something more with this painting. It's a rad painting.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna look it up.
Look it up.
We'll put a picture.
Yes,
Yes.
we will put a picture.
For all you YouTube viewers out
Yes, yeah, we are on YouTube. Mournful sounds can be heard throughout room 4, accompanied by the sweet smell of perfume. On one occasion, a guest reported going to dinner, only to come back hours later to find Claire gone from her portrait.
there. Oh!
Like on Harry Potter.
Except we don't stand a turf.
Oh.
The frame
Yes.
and painting remained hung on the wall, but Claire was nowhere to be seen. The guest also noted the smell of perfume. Guests who were spending the night in room number 4 were startled when the door suddenly bolted open. They didn't disappoint her with their reaction and gave the spirit some chuckles as they dashed down to the night manager and reported her behavior promptly. Other guests have reported dreaming about the Lady in Blue. People sleeping in room 3 or 4 are awakened by strange noises and have heard a cry or a groan, and have felt a cold draft from the hallway. They've also heard knocking on the door, but when they opened it, no one was there.
Bum, bum, bum.
One guest claims to have been touched by Claire. Then we have room number 7 and Miss Alice. Miss Alice's room is a grand room with 14-foot ceilings and a large king-size bed. It comes with a separate washroom equipped with a large basin sink and a clawfoot bathtub. Mary Rose Denton, author of the article Explore the Haunting History of the Palace Hotel in Port Townsend, spent the night in room 7. After hearing tell of ghosts and spending the night wondering if every sound they heard was a ghost, Mary Rose was disappointed not to have had any ghostly experiences of her own. That is, until she and her partner were gathering their bags. Something at the window caught Mary Rose's eye. 2 ghostly handprints streaked the pane. The outside pane. We are 3 floors up, they said to their partner. There is no way someone could get up here. They looked at each other excited that they had, after all, been visited by a spirit. Then we've got Captain Tibbles. He likes to hang out on the 2nd floor.
That sounds like a good name for a cat.
It's an adorable cat.
That is an adorable cat name. Captain Tibbles.
Sorry, Tulliver, your new name is
Captain
Tibbles.
Tibbles. I love that. That's adorable. On the 2nd floor lobby, Captain Tibbles, the ghost, not the cat, can be found haunting the place he created. He is described as being benign, happy, and he likes to stay in that one general area where he can observe all the activity and recall his fond memories.
Aww.
Yeah. And then we have a guest's personal encounter at the Palace Hotel. This encounter is by Lori Harkwell. It was not a dark and stormy night. In fact, it was the longest day of the year, and I had taken a summer solstice jaunt to the historic seaside town of Port Townsend, staying in what appeared to be a charming Victorian hotel on the main drag. The lovely setting for this tell. After a 4.5-hour drive, I walked into, that is a long drive, I walked into the main lobby of the Palace Hotel, sun blazing a trail in the late summer afternoon sky, and immediately asked the front desk clerk, Bob, "You're not going to tell me this hotel is haunted?" And why did I blurt out this odd question? Because the main lobby had a strange kind of filmy feeling.
Ew.
As if a layer of gauze or a veil was laid over it. Before I continue, I must digress. I have stayed in numerous historic B&Bs by myself, both here and abroad. I had also been in countless older homes from my previous job at Rejuvenation, and had never encountered a place quite like this. Okay, now back to the story. In regard to my question, Bob gave a nervous chuckle and told me the hotel does have an interesting past as a seaport brothel. In a half-hearted attempt at transparency, he offered me the hotel's binder containing guest reviews. This is the ghost book.
Ooh.
For reasons I can't fully explain, the reoccurring theme of the weekend, I told Bob I wasn't up for the binder and that I'd prefer to remain objective. Settling in, I followed Bob as he scurried up the main staircase, which presided over by a large portrait of the Lady in Blue. And he planted my small suitcase in room 4, Miss Claire's room. The Lady in Blue. Despite its tawdry past, Miss Claire's room was airy and bright. I entered, but immediately froze in my tracks. The vibe overwhelmed me. It felt like something was in the room, but I couldn't see it. More specifically, it felt like a patch of sad energy gently hovering overhead, kind of like an invisible, clinically depressed blimp. I love her writing style. Lori is good, yes. My first instinct was to bolt, but after a few minutes of self-talk, there is nothing wrong with this room, Lori. I decided to stay. To get the weekend off to the right start, I sent the presence a telepathic greeting, no joke. Something to the effect of, "Hey, Miss Claire, you seem kind of down, and I'm sorry about that. And I know this is your room, and I promise I'll be a really good roommate." I hit the telepathic send button and started to unpack. Usually, for record-keeping purposes, I would take pictures in a historic hotel. But I decided not to use my camera, or for that matter, turn on the TV, fearing the camera flash or electronic devices might trigger a paranormal event. Again, no joke. I realized I was truly beginning to grasp the Victorian concept of going mad. Shake it off, I told myself. I pulled myself back from the brink, bucked up, and headed out to dinner. After a lovely meal and healthy dose of wine at the Silverwater Cafe, I headed back to room 4. With the table lamp on, I went to sleep. Thankfully, the night was uneventful. Then things get a little lively. Saturday morning arrived, and summer light flooded the room early. How ironic, I thought. My own little version of The Shining.
Oh no.
I got up and did a gut check on the room. I felt Miss Claire was not present. Perhaps she was running errands. Do ghosts run errands?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
They go do shit.
They go do shit. They can do what they want. Yeah.
They're busy. They got stuff to do.
I headed out for a normal day of sightseeing and made sure to leave the room extra tidy, thinking that if Miss Claire moved anything while I was out, I'd be able to tell. I returned later that afternoon after an invigorating bike ride to Fort Worden. The room felt normal. I breathed a sigh of relief and relaxed, then started to get ready to go out for an early dinner. Although, at this point, I was trying my best to apply makeup while not looking in the mirror, since I knew from childhood slumber parties that mirrors and apparitions go hand in hand. Mary Worth, are you listening? And wouldn't you know, while primping, the closed door to my room popped open in that scary movie kind of way, creaking sound effect and all. I thought to myself, pretty sure that was closed. I shrugged it off and attributed it to an old building with old locks. Gaslight. I continued to blindly apply mascara when suddenly I felt something behind me. That's when I broke out in goosebumps. I quickly brushed my hair and left. She's back, I think, so I'll just let her have the room to herself for a few hours. I feared I was starting to lose it. Dinner was another lovely meal at the Silverwater, washed down with 2 very large glasses of wine. After
Good for her.
Good for you. That sounds like a nice dinner.
That sounds like I want that dinner.
Yeah. I wonder what kind of restaurant the Silverwater is.
I don't know. Where is this? What city is this in again?
Port Townsend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. After taking in some live music and knocking back another stiff drink, I felt horrified and ready to return to Miss Claire's room. One more night, I said to myself. Fast forward a few hours, I was sound asleep. That is, until the locked door once again mysteriously popped open. I sat bolt upright in bed and said loudly, "Hello? Hello?" No answer. I walked to the open door and looked out into the still lit hall. I saw nothing. And then I had a funny thought, an epiphany of sorts. I realized that I don't really want to see anything. I'm tired of this ghost stuff, and I was now more annoyed with it than scared of Miss Claire. She reminded me of so many roommates from days past, stumbling in on late Saturday night, probably drunk, but meaning no harm. At least she didn't bring home a guy. Sunday morning arrived, bright and sunny. My first thought of the day was, I'm getting the hell out of here. I skipped the shower, no more creepy bathroom for me, quickly packed up and said goodbye to Miss Claire. This time, I spoke out loud, for I was no longer in denial about her existence. But before I left, I did review The Binder, which was chock full of experiences similar to mine, and then some. I also learned that legend has it that Miss Claire was engaged to be married, but was jilted by a sailor who left her on the dock.
Oh.
Her never-used wedding gown was stashed in a trunk found in room number 4.
Ugh, damn.
It's fucking rude.
That's
So rude.
So rude.
So rude.
Freaking.
Why didn't she just go find another sailor?
I don't know. Maybe she died before she could.
How?
I don't know.
People just dropped like flies.
They did just drop like flies back then.
Oh, this bra. So, do you guys want to know what the still water is?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
It looks charming.
Ooh.
They have, look at that.
Oh,
Ooh,
wow.
that looks delicious.
It's like American. They've got a Southwest steak salad, a miso black cod, chicken a la vodka.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Yeah. And they have a wine
Fancy.
club.
Ooh.
They
The best
operate Tuesday through Saturday. Not sponsored, but I mean,
We
Go
just
try
love
it
us
if
a
you're
good
there.
food.
just love
Yeah.
good food. It looks delicious. So, people from Port Townsend, if you're listening, which you're probably not, we don't have a ton of listeners in Washington. But if you are, let us know.
Let
Yes.
us know. Yes, yes.
Hell yeah.
We forgot at the top of the episode, but Craig
Oh.
has a ghost update
I do have
for
a
us.
ghost update. So,
Should we finish talking about
Oh, yes,
your
yes, yes.
brothel first?
Yes.
And then we'll do a ghost update.
What are your guys' thoughts?
I would stay the shit out of there.
I would also stay the shit out of there.
And
Well,
I would
stay in
read
that
the
room.
shit out of that. Yes.
Yeah.
And me and Claire would become besties.
Yes. Bring her a little snack.
Bring her
Little
some
offering
trinkets.
snack. Yeah. Ooh, a little trinket.
Spray some special perfume just for her.
Yeah.
Bring her a glass of wine
Yes.
that she can share with me.
Yes.
She can have her own glass.
Her own glass.
Hell.
In this economy.
True.
I'm just kidding. Any other thoughts? It looks cool.
I want to stay there.
We'll put some more pictures of like the rooms and stuff, and specifically like the room number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
I wonder if there are any like other entities, I guess.
I'm sure.
So what I was looking, they think there are about 10 different
Oh.
entities.
And how many of them are sex workers?
I think 3. There's
okay.
I can't remember their names. I know there's Claire and Alice, and then there was another one who just kind of like wanders and doesn't have her own specific room.
That makes sense.
And then there's Captain Tibbles,
I love that.
and then another female presence that they think is potentially his wife.
Mm.
And then there's a child presence.
Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure
And then
there
there's
is.
it's never a child.
It's never a child.
It's like 99% chance it's not a kid.
No, it's someone or something pretending to be a kid so that you'll interact with it.
Yes.
Sneaky little
Yes.
bastards, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a basement entity.
Ooh, I love basement entities.
Love me a basement
Hello,
entity.
the gates.
Hello, hello. Howdy, howdy.
Anyway.
And I think that's it.
Cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, another place to add to our list of haunted
Yes.
travels.
Yes. And it looks cool, and it's all renovated. They renovated it in the 70s and like refurbished
There's
it with
some
like
delicious wood paneling.
oh, there's probably
I love
so
me
many
some
wood
wood
panelings.
Mm.
And if there's carpet over it, we rip it off. Just kidding. Just kidding. Wouldn't do that.
No, we don't need carpet on the walls though, guys.
Yeah, guys, please.
Let's not have that come back into
Oh my
fashion.
God.
Please.
Shag ass carpet
Ugh.
all over
You have to
everything.
vacuum your walls. Are you shitting my dick?
The walls and the ceiling.
Or like the green carpet. Like
Yeah.
our parents had, it was
Oh,
spooky scary.
No, that's not even 70s. That's 90s.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but like
70s green
Carpet.
shag was like a different. It's like an avocado green,
An avocado.
not a hunter green. Is what
ooh.
mom and dad's carpet was.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
much.
They had, it was like Christmas threw up on the carpets. It
It
was like burgundy
was so
and deep
Yeah.
hunter green.
So 90s.
It was so
So
90s.
90s.
It was like Barney-esque.
I know. I don't know
That's funny.
what mom and dad were thinking. They got
I
better.
don't know. They got better.
They're like, actually, this isn't it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ghost updates, Craig.
Yes,
Yes,
ghost
I
updates.
So, we were in Nephi and at the coffee shop,
Oh, the Haven.
the Haven.
Yes.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out.
Shout out the Haven, the Haven Coffee Roasters. Okay. I was standing out by the. So there is a river that kind of runs right
Oh,
along the
mhm.
building. It used to be like a mill.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I have a clip we could insert of it if we want to.
Okie
I'll put that
dokie.
in.
Let's
could
do
do
it.
Okay.
And I was looking out over the edge, and I turned my head to look towards like a flower bed because it's like done up. It's like a park,
it's
kind
so
of. It's like a
pretty.
big
It's so
open
pretty.
space. And I see this dog, a doggo, and it is a larger dog, almost medium sized, but a little bit bigger, and it's like red or like I guess like avocado
russet?
covered
Avocado.
or apricot.
Oh,
No,
apricot.
it's
okay.
green.
Okay.
No. But it had like those small pointy ears and like a shorter tail.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what kind of dog it even would like be though. But it was like large, pointy ears, shorter tail, and it was just like walking up like towards us,
Mm-hmm.
and then it like disappeared. And I was like, oh,
Wait a minute. Where
there
did
was
the
not a
puppers
pupper
go?
there.
No
puppers.
No
Who
pupper.
were you there with?
Just Kylee.
Yeah.
Oh, did you
But-
see the dog?
I did not. I was looking at the leaky water fountain. I was like, "Is that leaking?" And Craig's like, "I just saw a ghost."
Yeah. It was a ghost.
You guys
Yeah.
are the cutest.
Spectral good boy.
Spectral good boy.
That's wild. I love ghost animals.
I know.
It's so fun.
It was so cute that it was like at the park.
That is so
I know.
cute.
It's living
Aww.
its best doggo afterlife.
Yes.
How fun, Craig.
I know, that was wild.
I wonder if he had followed. So like someone on a bike had showed up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe it's their doggo.
Maybe.
Well, and yeah, and no one wants to go up and be like, "Hey, do you have a dog?
Do you have a
That looked
dog?
like
that looks like this?" Well, yeah, that was Miss
That was-
Vanderpump,
Yeah.
That was Captain Tibbles.
but they died 2 years ago.
How did you know that?
Because I just saw them.
I
They
saw it,
followed you to the
baby.
park.
Yes.
Aw.
Aw.
Aw, that's really
That's probably
sweet.
what happened. It's
Starts
so
crying.
Or they're like backs away.
They're
Oh,
like, I actually don't, I've never had a dog.
just don't hurt me. They throw like their wallet at your face. Just take my money and don't hurt me.
Leave.
You dropped this.
It's
not
no,
my
no.
wallet.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
That is funny.
Do you want to go next, Craig?
I'll go next. Does anyone else have any ghosty updates?
No.
No. The only thing, just regular weirdness, like our electrical box won't stay shut. Thanks,
Mm.
Nathan.
Mhm.
He likes to play there because he installed it, so
Oh,
he
yeah.
likes to play with it to let us know he's around. I had a talk with the gates, telling them they lucked out and we're not going to be using their room for our podcast.
How did they respond? Did they give you any?
I think they were kind of relieved, but I also think they are totally listening to us right now.
Oh,
For sure.
They're
For
totally
sure.
like, "What are you doing? What's a podcast?"
What's a podcast?
Hashtag jump in the picture.
We were riding in the car the other day, and Craig like turned on his windshield wiper fluid, and I was thinking like, imagine if someone from the 1800s was sitting here and like windshield wiper
could
fluid
see a
just like
car.
shot. They would die. They would just like die on the spot.
Not only are they like weirded out because they're riding in a car,
Mhm.
and then the car does that shit.
Yeah.
They're
The
like
horse's
witchcraft.
carriage. It's pissing
It's
forward.
crying.
It's crying. I like that better.
It's pissing forward. Oh no.
Oh dear.
Damn, that's funny. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, alright. Anyway. So I'm gonna be talking about the red onion.
The
Brothel.
red onion brothel.
Red onion.
Ooh.
Yeah, stinky. Yeah.
Ew.
Oh no, we'll get to that later.
Oh no.
Okay. Due to the ghost wants to throw hands. Anyway,
Ooh.
Yes.
He's a stinky boy.
he is a stanky boy.
Asshole.
Yeah.
He needs some soap for Squatch.
Yes, LLC, Seance with my siblings. We're making so maybe not. That's already a thing, so we already said we can't do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Just kidding. We're not making that soap.
we're not making
We're
that.
not calling it that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the other one called? What's the actual one called? I forgot.
It's just called like Squatch soap or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not stealing their ideas.
No.
So
No,
don't come for us.
we're not.
We're
Okay.
just in a silly, goofy mood.
Anyway, okay.
Sorry, Craig. Tell us about the red onion brothel.
Okay. In the shadow of towering mountains and against the backdrop of the Alaskan wilderness, the Red Onion Saloon has stood for more than a century. Its walls holding the echoes of a bygone era. Skagway, a town that once pulsed with the dreams of gold rush prospectors. People looking for gold.
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 And their hips.
Give me that gold.
Did you say, sorry, Skywag?
Sorry, Skagway.
Skagway?
Oh. I was like, Skywag.
Skagway in Alaska.
Alaska.
Yes.
Which we also still don't have listeners, Alaska. Come on.
Okay,
Come on,
Alaska.
Alaska.
Every other state is on board except for like, what, 4?
Yeah.
I think
So
that's
thank
four.
you, America.
Yeah,
Sending
thank
them
you, guys.
telepathic messages in Alaska.
If you're in Skyway, Alaska,
Listen.
Skywag. They're gonna eat you.
they're gonna eat you, Skyway. Or Skagway, sorry, not Sky.
They're gonna eat you.
They're gonna eat me. They're gonna be
I
like,
mispronounced
They're like, actually, it's Skagway.
We're just gonna get a bunch of hate comments.
They're like,
any comments are good comments.
yeah.
Yeah, tell us how much you hate us. That's fun.
Yeah. Yippee. Okay.
Okay, sorry. Anyway.
These prospectors still whisper with the spirits of those who never left. The walls of this... the Red Onion. Sorry. It's just a silly name. Okay.
That's a weird name for a brothel.
It is. Some say that one spirit in particular, a woman named Lydia, continues to make her presence known.
Ooh.
My car's name is Lydia.
Lydia!
I miss her.
Oh no, Lydia. Sad. Okay, so let's step inside this historic saloon, and you might feel a chill race down your spine. It's not just the cold Alaskan air, it's the feeling of being watched. The scent of floral perfume drifting in an empty hallway, the soft sound of footsteps pacing where no one walks. The Red Onion Saloon is more than a relic of the past. It's a place where history lingers, sometimes in ways that send shivers down your spine.
Ooh.
Yes. The year was 1898. That's too far back for me. Okay, sorry. The year was 1898. The Skagway was the last stop before the treacherous trek to the Yukon, where prospectors hoped to strike it rich. The promise of gold drew thousands of men, each willing to risk everything for the slimmest chance of fortune. In the midst of this chaos, establishments like the Red Onion Saloon flourished, offering whiskey, music, gambling, and the companionship of a woman.
Oh.
For an average of 7 minutes.
For an average of 2 minutes. Sorry, 7 minutes. Okay. The Red Onion wasn't just any brothel. It was one of the finest in town.
Ooh.
Okay, yes.
It's a high-class establishment.
Mm-hmm.
Bougie.
They're like, we need y'all to give us your gold that you find.
Yeah. But you're going to have fun while you give it to us.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
all the ways.
No, like it's a trade-off.
Well, yes.
You get we get gold, you
that's
get
how-
the woman.
That's how it works.
Yeah, that's how money works, everyone. Finance with Craig. Okay, sorry. Okay.
LLC, coming soon.
Don't take financial advice from me. Okay.
No.
No, you will not want that. Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Finance with Craig.
You... Gay financing.
Oh, no.
Or nor.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
A place where men with gold to spend could enjoy the company of the city's most sought-after woman.
Ooh.
Yes. The upstairs housed 10 small cribs.
Ooh.
Bonum. Cribs makes it sound like it's like cribs, like, yeah.
Yes,
This
not
is my
that
crib.
exciting.
Not that,
Cribs
yeah.
are just a small room with just like a bed, usually, and maybe if you're lucky, a chair and a chamber
A
pot.
cock chair. Sorry. Okay.
This is
A
my
cock chair.
This is my cock chair. Okay. Sorry.
Maybe.
That's not what I was gonna I was gonna say this is my crib. I slept in it till I was 2 years old.
Yeah, not that kind of.
Not that kind of crib. Like a room with a bed.
What?
And maybe a chair, as I just learned. Okay.
Okay.
I was like, it's definitely a room. Okay.
It's just a teeny room so they could fit a lot of them in a smaller space so that they could pack in more ladies and
Etc.
more sex could happen.
Yeah. They also had a wash basin in these rooms.
That's lucky. Good for them. See, high class establishment.
Mm-hmm. Business ran efficiently. When a customer selected a woman, ooh, that sounds gross.
No,
Sorry.
that's how it was. There's a lineup.
I know. But
I'm
like,
obsessed with brothels, so there's still a lineup.
Hell yeah. Okay. When a customer selected a woman, he would pay for a token, and the bartender would place a doll representing the woman on its side. When her service was complete, the doll was stood upright once again.
I love this.
That's
so
wild.
wild. I love this little thing they got going on with the dolls.
Yeah, they really have it all figured out. They're like, let's make it like fun.
Anything to do with like dolls, I'm like, yeah, shut
Somebody's
in.
like, yes.
Hell yeah.
Why,
Well,
yes.
they're all haunted now.
That's
Probably.
fine. I can have them. Where did they
Yes.
go? Let's find them.
Where did
Please,
they come
if
from?
you have
Where
these
did they
dolls,
go?
send them to us. Cotton Eye Joe. Okay.
I bet he visited the cribs.
Oh, now everyone has an
Oh, no.
STI.
Oh, no. God
Now
damn
we
it.
all have to get mercury poisoning to cure our syphilis.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God. It was a system designed to keep the money flowing, but behind the lively music and clinking glasses, life for the woman working there was anything but glamorous.
Well, yeah.
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 Some found ways to leave, others remained trapped in a cycle of desperation, and a few, it seems, never left at all. That brings us to Miss Lydia. Among the many spirits said to haunt the Red Onion Saloon, Lydia is the most well-known. Who she was in life remains a mystery, though many believe she was a prostitute who met a tragic end within these walls. Some say she was murdered in one of the upstairs cribs. Others believe she succumbed to illness, her suffering lost in the frenzy of the gold rush lifestyle.
Or, botched abortion.
Or botched abortion.
There were so many ways to
So
die.
Mhm.
So many
So
ways
many
to
ways to
die
die.
in
So
the
many
Wild
ways
West.
to die.
Or
That's
the
like a
Wild
movie,
Alaska.
isn't it?
It's a game. Done.
No, that's not what I'm
die.
thinking. That's not what I'm
Oh.
thinking.
Oh.
It's
The
like
Oregon Trail. Just
a
kidding.
1,000 ways to die in the Wild West or something like that.
There
That
is
sounds...
like the ABCs of death.
No,
Mm.
No.
it's literally called like something ways to die in the
Oh,
Wild West.
Well, that's fun.
yeah.
You should watch
That's
it.
fun.
Yeah.
I choose syphilis. Yay. Because not only do you have parts of your face rot off, you go crazy too.
Oh my
Yay.
gosh. Pew, pew, pew. Okay.
Jeez.
Rip.
Poor Craig. Okay,
No,
tell us
it's
about
good.
Lydia.
Whatever the truth may be, Lydia's presence remains strong. Employees and visitors alike have encountered her lingering spirit. Footsteps echo on the second floor, even when no one is up there. The air turns frigid in certain spots, sending icy fingers crawling up spines. Then there's the scent. A distinct floral perfume, sometimes strong enough to make visitors stop in their tracks. And then there are the sightings. Some claim to have seen a woman in period clothing gliding through the upstairs hallways, only to vanish
Ooh.
before their eyes. Others have heard the rustling of skirts when the saloon is otherwise silent. Those who dare to spend time upstairs alone sometimes feel a light tug on their clothing, as if Lydia herself is trying to make her presence known. Alright, let's talk about John now.
John?
John the John?
John's ghost. John the
John.
ghost.
John the Ghost.
The ghost. Was he a John, though, there at the Red Onion? Do you guys know what that means?
No.
No.
A John is a patron of a sex worker.
Oh. The more you know.
So, some think he was like a bouncer.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
he worked there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
John the Bouncer the Ghost.
John the Ghost Bouncer.
Yes. There's a malevolent male ghost that employees call John. He roams the place, causing no end of troubles for the staff and sometimes guests. You'll know he's around if you catch a whiff of a horrendous body over,
No!
or if he decides to simply shove you down the stairs.
Jeez,
This guy's
he's
a dick.
stinky and mean.
Yeah. He'll also fling open doors of rooms staff and guests are changing in open. The story among employees is that John is a former bouncer who was stabbed to death by a prostitute who got fed up with his constant harassment.
And
Pop off, queen.
stinkiness. I would kill him too. I'd be
Yeah.
like, you fucking stink.
Like, you stink, bitch.
Good
I
for
hate
her.
her stinky
Good
ass.
for her.
Yes.
Yes, she popped off. Alright, and a few first-hand encounter accounts from visitors and employees. The saloon's current staff has their fair share of eerie stories. Some refuse to go upstairs alone. One bartender reported hearing soft, feminine laughter in an empty hallway, only to find the space empty when he checked. A former manager once claimed she was locked in a room by an unseen force, only for the door to suddenly open on its own minutes later.
Ooh.
That was definitely
That's
John.
Ghost trick. They
That
they
is.
like to do that.
To shut the door on you and just
Yeah.
open it. Yeah. That
And then
happened
you
to
can't open it, but then all of a sudden...
Yeah.
You were gonna say that happened to you?
I feel like, or it happened to someone in the family, right? Like in the bathroom?
I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe
it's
I'm thinking
happened to me
of something
before.
else.
Like, you can't just, it's so stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's what I was thinking of. Yes.
Yeah.
Craig's like, it happened to me, but
Not
maybe
actually,
it didn't.
no. No, I meant like it
this.
happened to someone, yeah.
I wonder if sometimes I think shit like that happens to delay you just enough to avoid some sort of misfortune.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
It's like, you're just that, 10 minutes late because the ghost hid your keys or whatever, and then you avoid a huge car accident.
Oh, for
maybe.
sure.
Or maybe it's just a trickster spirit,
Sure.
like, ha ha ha.
But what if it's or your a guardian spirit
Maybe.
that's like, oh yeah, bitch, you're gonna be late today because there's a huge wreck that you're gonna be in if you're not, and it's not your time to die yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mysterious world we live in. Anyway,
Okay.
fucking John.
Fucking John being an asshole, locking people in rooms, okay? Visitors, too, leave with stories to tell. A group touring the second floor reported an overwhelming feeling of being watched. A sensation so strong that one of them refused to continue the tour.
Oh, shit.
Another visitor described feeling a sudden, crushing sadness upon entering a room, as though absorbing the emotions of someone long gone. One of the most chilling accounts comes from a woman who claims she felt fingers brush against her hair, though no one was near her. Okay.
I've had something brush my hair here in this house.
You sure have.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I wonder who it was.
I don't know.
I feel like Lydia, or...
Lydia.
Oh, no. I thought you were asking me, I wonder who it was, to
At the Red
At the Red
Onion.
Onion,
Yeah,
sure,
Red
it
Onion.
could be Lydia.
It could be Lydia.
But I also wonder who it was who brushed Kylie's hair.
It could be the lady of the house. Who doesn't like her name, so we don't use it.
Didn't you say it felt like it came from down here?
Behind you.
Up the stairs?
No, so I was sitting. Okay, story time, I guess.
Yes.
We were watching Astro Boy.
Well, yes.
When it first came out, and the boys liked that movie a lot. So
Even though
we
it
were
was
watching it for the third time, I swear to
Period.
God.
I'm so sorry, Kylie.
It's okay. And I feel a hand come up behind me and brush down my hair and down my back. And then I just got goosebumps, super bad goosebumps. And I was like, oh, but I can't say anything because it will scare the children.
Yes, it
and so I just sat there.
Oh, no. Just sitting in
But yeah, that
silence.
same night I heard something running up and down the stairs.
Oh,
But that's a
That's the
residual.
yeah. And it happens mostly in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll hear doors slamming in the basement, even though we know we keep all the doors closed so the cats don't get trapped in the rooms.
Yeah.
By the
So,
ghosties.
Yeah, I've heard the slamming here. We've even heard a woman screaming from the basement while we were here one time.
Oh, I hate that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Craig was here.
scary.
Yeah, we were together. We were feeding cats.
At least you guys were together.
Yay!
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
I've only heard it the one time.
Huh.
Yeah.
That was weird.
It was in the fall time too, wasn't it?
It was in the fall time.
My house is very active in the fall.
Mhm.
Very, very, very.
The
The
veil,
veil
is
is
thinning.
thin.
Yes. Well, and
Yeah.
the residuals are stronger in the fall for some reason.
Because whatever event it's repeating probably happened in the fall.
Ooh,
The
yeah.
people who built this house had a ton of kids, and all the kids' bathrooms, bedrooms were here in the basement.
Yeah. Also, maybe, do you guys just ever just scream? Because you need to freaking let it out?
Maybe she was
Yes,
like,
I
Maybe
did
she
that.
was just doing
Yeah.
that.
Well, if you had that many kids in this little house.
she's like, stop
Yeah.
running up the stairs.
Stop!
Yeah. Yeah, I did that at work the other day when someone
Nice.
fucked with my schedule and didn't give me a heads up.
Yeah.
It
Sometimes
was fucking rude.
That would annoy me.
I'd be so
Yeah.
pissed.
I was pissed. Everyone else was pissed for me. Like all of my other coworkers that did not do me dirty.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sometimes you just gotta scream.
Gotta
Just-
scream it out.
If you have never just screamed, do it. You can do it into a
Go
pillow.
to a field,
Go to a field.
an empty field, and scream.
Become the cryptid
Yes.
of your village. Wow, why did
The
I
crows fly
of your,
away.
of your town or city village?
Because we live in a village. Basically.
Basically.
Oh.
With many a field.
Yes.
To go screaming and become the local cryptid. We love it.
Oh my gosh, sorry, this is another
No, you're
tangent. There's, I think it's either a Japanese or a Chinese entity that likes to hide in big open fields, and
And
it
scream.
distorts itself, and it it's one of those ones where as you get closer, it gets further away. But if you look at it for too long, it can like break your mind.
You go insane.
Ew,
Yeah.
I hate that.
And it like urges you to look at it.
Yeah.
That's rude.
Yeah. It's
Guys,
like gurning and
no.
shit. Ugh. Gross.
I'd be like, be gone, asshole.
You be
gone.
gone, thoughts. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Tell us about Jahan.
I told you all about
Oh,
it.
Oh, tell us
But
about
here's a few other
other
spirits of the Red
spirits.
Onion. While Lydia is the most famous ghost of the Red Onion, she is far from the only one. Yes. Some believe that former patrons, workers, or even those who died violently in Skagway's earlier days still roam the premises. People have seen a shadowy figure in mirrors.
Ooh.
Several guests claim to have seen dark human-like shapes reflecting in mirrors, only to turn and find nothing there. We love that for them.
Do we, though?
No. People have heard whispered conversations, giggles, and even soft sobbing have been heard in empty rooms. And certain areas of the building carry a way as if unseen eyes are constantly watching.
Ooh.
So all the typical ghosts shenanigans.
Like they like to do.
They love to do that.
They do love to
It's
do
their
that.
favorite thing.
They do that.
They do be doing it.
They
They
be
do be
doing
doing
that.
it.
Dooby dooby doo up. Okay.
Agent P.
Oh, no. Huh, the Red Onion in
The Red
Saskatchewan, Alaska.
Saskatchewan. Skagway.
Skagway,
Skagway.
That's right.
Shit.
We've all-
Skagway.
Skywag.
Scallywag.
Scallywag, Alaska. The onion. Yes.
Is the red onion like a euphemism for lady parts?
I don't know.
Oh.
Let's ask Google.
Yeah. Are
Hey
the red-
Google, is the red onion a euphemism for lady parts? Yes,
Oh.
in some contexts, red onion can be used as a euphemism for female genitals. Oh, specifically the phrase playing the red onion has been used to mean chasing or interacting with women in a sexual
Oh.
context where red onion refers to female genitalia. Telia.
Telia.
A
How interesting.
coctillion. Sorry.
A reptilian.
Onion.
Okay.
The
Interesting.
more you know.
The more
I'm learning
you
all sorts of
know.
stuff today.
Yes, you are. And we're about to learn more.
Oh, hell yeah!
So, a trip to Alaska is now being planned.
Yeah.
Yes.
A haunted Alaska trip.
I have always wanted to visit
Oh,
Alaska.
same. I want to see
my
the
God, I'm sorry.
Aurora Borealis.
Yes.
And just Alaska. I just
Have you seen like those like glass tent things that you can Airbnb in Alaska and like watch the
Yes.
aurora? Let's go to those.
Okay.
Okay.
But we all have to sleep together because, like, being surrounded by glass, like, I had a dream last night that me and Peter moved with Luke and Zabe into an apartment that was, like, all, like, glass, like a high-rise, and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I hate this.
Right.
I feel like
Awful.
everyone can see me, and we only had one bathroom, and that was all glass, too.
Bruh.
And I
The
just...
bathroom, that just like clicked in my head. The bathroom was glass. That's
yeah,
awful.
yeah, it was horrible, and I really had to pee.
Oh no.
Go piss, girl.
A nightmare.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody was over visiting.
Shandi, you're just like, ah!
Yes! And then I really did have to pee.
Oh, no.
I hate those.
Yeah.
Those are the worst dreams.
Oh, I mean, I'll take those over my regular nightmares, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Rather have to pee than.
Then be chased
Yeah.
by... What are my regular nightmares? I don't know. Someone's always chasing me. Or, yeah, something bad is happening. Like
Oof.
nightmares, you know?
Nightmares.
Nightmares. Spooky
In your
scary.
nightmares, do like your legs just won't go fast enough, or they feel like super
Yes.
heavy and leaden?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You forget how to run.
Yeah.
Or I need to call 911, but my phone won't work, and no one else's phone works.
Damn.
Or it's like not a dream. Well, so a lot of times I can read in my dreams, and I think those are times I'm actually astral projecting. But then they have like nightmares or something that I can't read in, and I'm like, oh, this is actually just a dream.
Yes.
Because like I can't read the numbers on my phone.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Dreams are wild. We should talk about dreams.
We should have
We
a
should
dreams
talk about
episode.
We should.
Dream,
We
dream,
should.
dream, 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 dream.
Oh my god, not Shark Boy and the Llama Girl.
I have. Oh, Xander, I love you, but my God, I watched that like 100 times.
Oh my
with him.
god.
Did you guys actually watch it You
Yeah.
liked it, or did you watch it with Xander?
No, we
I
watched.
think
It
I
came out when we were
watched it,
little.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
With little baby Taylor Lautner.
Freaking Taylor Lautner.
I wonder what he's up to.
I don't know.
I think he just got married
Oh.
to the other Taylor.
Oh yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
what?
He did marry another Taylor. I did see that on
But
TikTok.
not Taylor Swift.
Not
No.
Taylor Swift.
Which that
Taylor...
relationship was gross because he was way too young.
Yeah. Taylor, what's...
He just likes to
Well,
be
they're
a
both
man
Taylor
named
Lautner now.
Yeah, they're both Taylor Lautner now.
I hope it's spelled Taylor is spelled differently.
No, they're
I
the
think
same.
they're the same.
They're the same. Yeah.
I think she goes by Tay.
Tay Tay.
Tay Tay.
Well, that is hilarious. Good for them.
Good for them.
I hope they are happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now let's go talk about some people who aren't so happy.
Okay, segue.
We're going to talk about the Dumas brothel.
Dumas.
Yes. Fun facts. A woman named Sandra was illegally brought to the brothel from Italy, where she was one of the most popular sex workers, retiring at the age of 61 or 63.
Damn.
Poor
That's
Sandra.
crazy.
And it seems she never left.
Mm.
She's one of the ladies that still haunt the brothel. There was a woman named Sarah that worked in kind of the lower end part. So they had like a higher class part of this brothel and then a lower end part in the basement.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I know, where they had a ton of tiny cribs. And she worked there, and she was going to marry a minor. And she died of an opium overdose after her fiance died in a mining accident.
Damn.
Was common, but the research I was listening to on YouTube said it was probably one of the biggest, most famous mining accidents where like over 100 men died in the mine.
Oh,
Wow.
snap.
And like they tried, there was a fire and they tried to put it out with water, but the water was just turning to steam and burning everyone, like boiling them.
Oh,
It was
that's
horrific.
awful.
It was horrific. Mining, oh my god, these people and the lives,
Oh.
like they had, woof. I would want to die young.
Yeah. And most of them did.
Okay. So, another fun fact, the basement was first called Pleasure Alley. Pleasure for who?
Gross.
Isn't that like Pinocchio?
Oh,
that's Pleasure Island.
Yeah, this was not an island, it was a basement.
A vast difference.
Yes. And it was the average time each man was in Pleasure Island was around 7 minutes. And the cost of visiting Pleasure Island, or just kidding, Pleasure Alley when the brothel first opened was, I think they said 25 cents or 50 cents, and the girls only got to keep 40% of that, and the house
Oof.
their madam got the rest. And in this brothel, in the beginning, there would be like multiple madams who had girls under them. But then toward the end, it seemed like there was just like one main madam that ran the whole house.
Okay.
So
So like an MLM. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
Except for this MLM doesn't stand for Mormons losing money.
LOL.
I'm so sorry, but the MLMs in Utah are
They're
out of control.
bad.
And they are predatory and horrible.
How
Anyway.
many "Hey girly" messages have you gotten on Facebook?
None. No one
for real,
messages
for
me.
real? I've had people like, "Hey girly, I'm starting a business."
Everything
And it's an
of mine
MLM.
is set to private,
Mm.
and I think people just don't know that I exist, and that's fine.
The way.
None of the people who are on my friends list have succumbed to the temptations of an MLM recently.
Hell yeah.
Good
So-
for them.
I'm sorry that your friends haven't figured that out yet, Kylee.
It's always like a random person that I haven't talked to
In a million
years. And I
And
was
you're
like,
like, why are you messaging me?
yeah.
Oh, you want to sell me your leggings.
Yay.
Or your
Your
vitamins.
essential oils.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so another fun fact is the Dumas brothel is the longest running brothel in America.
Holy shit.
Ooh.
How long?
Yeah.
How long?
It ran, I'll tell you, it opened in 1890 and ran until 1982.
Shit!
Yeah, the year I was born, it
Ooh.
closed.
Holy
Shit.
cow. That's bananas.
Yeah, yes. I know there's some in Nevada that if they stay open, like I think it's the Chicken Ranch, if it stays open a little bit longer,
It'll beat that.
take the title. But
The names of these brothels.
as of this recording, was the longest running brothel in America. And I don't know about other places because I didn't research that. So, the Dumas brothel at 45 East Mercury Street in Butte, Montana, like I said, is the longest running active brothel in U.S. history. It was built by, and this is from the Dumas brothel website. So they have a website because they still are open for tours and ghost hunts.
Yes.
Yes, very cool. We need to
We
go.
have to go to there.
Yes.
Did you guys see that?
Yes.
Yes.
We're in the haunted
We are in the haunted basement.
Yay, ghosts.
Yay.
The light just
Mm.
changed.
Yeah, and like, oh, danger.
Sorry for your ears.
Oh, something like walked behind it. Like I saw like an
Oh.
orb go behind
I
it.
saw the orb too. Okay.
I was looking down, so I just saw the light change.
Yeah.
Dang.
Like an orb went behind it and the light changed.
Is that you, the Gates? Or Samantha?
Samantha.
Anyway.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. No, that's fine.
Too bad it didn't go behind us.
Oh, that would have been cool.
That would have been cool.
Well, I just am waiting for our little gray orb friend to
To-
come along
Mhm.
and for Craig to be looking down
And
again.
for me
Yeah.
not seeing it all, yeah.
Anyway, it was built by the Nadeau brothers, Joseph and Arthur. Joseph's wife's maiden name was Dumas, and that was the name used for the brothel.
Bruh, I just
Nothing.
You saw it?
saw a white orb, but just like,
There's something
yeah,
curious.
that was wild.
Dumas, like Alexander Dumas, that wrote like the Three Musketeers and
I have no idea.
other books.
I do not know. I did not get into Joseph's wife's history. But, like, what says love more than naming your brothel after your beloved wife? They just didn't want to name it after their last name.
Fair, yeah.
I don't know why they had to name it after hers, but whatever, that's what they did. Yep. And the Nadeaus, or their family, owned the brothel into the 1940s. So from the time it was opened in 1890, and then into the 1940s, this family operated it.
Okay.
Yeah. So during the 40s, it was purchased by the madam at the time, Lillian Walden. She became the first madam owner and the first non-Nadeau owner. After Lillian, all the owners were the madams, which, like, fuck
That's-
yeah.
Hell yeah.
The last madam was Ruby Garrett. When Ruby went to prison in 1982, the Dumas was closed as a brothel. And at this point in time, Montana had made sex work illegal. So you would think she would go to
Elsewhere?
Somewhere else.
No.
Oh.
You would think they would have got her for, prostitution.
What did they
For, like,
get her for?
Tax evasion.
Oh!
She pulled an Al Capone. They got her for tax evasion.
If you're doing illegal things, don't evade taxes.
Right. Have a legal business to cover it up where you pay some fucking taxes.
Yeah.
But her and the other madams would just pay off law enforcement so they could keep going. Like you do.
Yeah, as
as
one
you
does.
do.
Yeah.
As you do. Duh. Okay, so the Dumas was closed when Ruby went to prison. Womp, 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 womp. She sold it to Ruby Geikick. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Geick in 1990. Since then, it has had two sets of owners, including Michael Pioche, I don't know, and Eric Travis Eccleston, and it is currently owned by David and Charlie Prince.
Okay.
From the website, visit Southwest Montana, while the upper floors of the hotel tell a tale of gentleman, money, and elegant decor. which it was beautiful upstairs.
Ooh.
The basement of the Dumas tells a much different story, one of hardship, unease, and struggle in the dim lighting. At the back of the Dumas, there is a padlocked door leading to a private passageway that once led to a paved brick street known as Pleasant Alley, then Venus Alley, and finally Piss Alley.
Piss Alley.
But I've also heard that it was Pleasure Alley.
Okay.
But in this article, it says Pleasant, so they probably called it all sorts of things. 'Cause
Probably.
it's a brothel. Along this alley were hundreds of one-room backstreet cribs. Miners would flock to the alley looking for a good time. This alley was a violent place, seeing crimes including shootings, stabbings, beatings, robbery, and more. The basement of the Dumas was part of the burnt district. So back in that time, everything was built of wood. And so there was like 2 other big hotel brothels in town. But there was a big fire, things burnt, and then were quickly rebuilt out of stone, but still.
Damn.
Anyway, like that's so many towns that happened to. Miners would flock to the alley looking for a good time, blah, blah, blah. I already read that. The basement of the Dumas, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So this area that's built of brick is the only part that stands today as a reminder of the activity that once defined the area. So, the sex work. While working girls, their words not mine, struggled to make ends meet in the basement, a number of madams occupied the front apartment on the 2nd floor, running what was considered to be a high-class establishment.
High class.
High class. From 1950 to 1955, Eleanor Knott served as the Madam of the Dumas. As the tale goes, Eleanor planned to leave the brothel with her lover on a cold night in February of 1955. She had her suitcase packed, but her lover never showed. The next morning, Bonita Farron sent for a doctor after finding Eleanor's body. Her death was ruled to be natural causes. Sure it was. Yet there were whispers of a suicide or possible murder.
Murder.
So the suspects for the murder were the boyfriend, or fiancé. He was allegedly a wealthy businessman in the area who was married.
Oh, okay.
So people suspect it could have been him and he murdered her so that no one found out about his illicit affair with a madam.
Probably.
Or when I was, doing this research, it's just so silly and odd and sus that the woman who found Eleanor's body, Madame Bonita, took over after Eleanor died.
Oh.
And it doesn't say this in this article, but a bunch of pills and booze were found with Eleanor.
Planted pills and booze.
And this is in, 1955? So I don't know of an autopsy or toxicology screenings. I don't know what was done to determine it was natural causes. There is, people suspect whoever murdered her bribed the coroner.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, so Bonita succeeded Eleanor as madam, moving into the 2nd floor apartment with her husband, John Farron. Bonita died in 1971 from cancer. Following Bonita's death, Ruby Garrett took over as the final madam of the Dumas. On October 3rd, 1981, there was a brutal robbery where Ruby was pistol whipped and robbed. Although the suspect was sent to prison, the event led to a federal investigation of the business. Oh no! Maybe don't report a robbery on your illegal brothel.
Maybe.
I'm just saying.
Maybe.
And the IRS convicted Garrett of tax evasion. The Dumas brothel closed permanently in 1982. The hauntings of the Dumas... Oh, this is the next section. This is all me talking. It's not an article.
Okie dokie.
Okay. The hauntings of the Dumas. Eleanor is said to still be there protecting the building. She has been seen dressed in what I think of as a traveling dress, with her suitcase packed and ready to go, waiting her fiancé who will never come. There were 3 young shithead boys who broke into the Dumas and instantly regretted their decision when Eleanor began throwing plates at them.
Good
Good.
for her.
She's like, don't fuck with me or my shit. Another pair of men broke in looking for items to take as souvenirs of their B&E. They split up, and one went to the floor where Eleanor's room was. The man allegedly went into her room and found a pen. He thought this is the perfect item to take. That is until Eleanor, fed up with the men's shenanigans, appeared to him loudly exclaiming, "Where is my pen?"
Ooh.
He promptly put the pen back, ran screaming out of the brothel, closely followed by his very confused and also frightened friend.
Slay.
Yeah.
Well,
A lot of people see Eleanor, and usually she's just minding her own business, wandering around with a suitcase. But if you try to fucking steal
don't
shit
take her
from her or
stuff.
break in, she's gonna get ya.
Don't take ghost shit.
Yeah. Don't break into places.
Yeah.
Yeah, also that.
Also that. So some other experiences are unexplained cold spots all over the building, smells of perfume that do not smell like modern perfumes, sounds of voices, both male and female, moaning, talking, yelling, fighting. It's like in the crib, like the pleasure alley basement area. There's a lot of that, kind of like residual kind of stuff. A lot of spirits here are unnamed, as a lot of the workers and patrons' names have been lost to time. So a lot of the women that worked there and the miners, just no one made record of them. They weren't. They're important because they're people, obviously.
Yeah.
But
But
They
records
didn't
were not kept
Yeah.
of
wanna
them.
keep records.
yeah, and if there were records, they probably got
Yeah.
burnt. Like that town burnt down
Yeah.
a few times.
Well, and if it's like illegal,
Yes.
you're not
They're
going
like-
to keep
Keep a record of Hen and Mary
Yeah.
and Dorothea and yeah.
Mhm.
And also there is a little boy that shows
Oh.
up in people's pictures.
A child.
So, yeah, the women there, you know, it was a hard life. They made very little money, especially the ones working in the lower class area. Like I said, they would service a lot of men every night, and each man spent maybe 7 minutes, and it was only, 50 cents? And as the years went on, they raised the prices, but still nothing like
Yeah.
you would pay today for a legal courtesan in a brothel. So, would you guys go? Oh, and then they were talking about the abortions that happened there, like in the time. So, what time period was this? It was before it was in the 1800s. Like even a clinical abortion by a doctor resulted in like 40% death to the mother. But they were doing wacky abortion stuff there at the Dumas, and a lot of women died.
Ooh, sad.
Yeah. So stop trying to take our fucking birth control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why
Assholes.
women need to have safe access to abortions as well.
Safe access to healthcare,
Yes.
period, and part
Full
of
stop.
reproductive healthcare
Yes.
is terminating pregnancies for whatever fucking reason she feels like.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to burn me at the stake, go for it. I'll kill you.
Yeah.
Anyway, like, human rights, everyone.
Yeah.
Let's go. Anyway.
Did you guys hear that TST is opening an abortion clinic in Maine, I think?
Yeah,
Oh,
the Satanic
yeah.
Temple.
I was like, TST, Stone Temple Pilots? No, that's not right. Good for them. Let's
Yeah.
donate some money their way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hail Satan.
Hell, Satan.
Anyway.
Now that we've scared away the normies,
I think we already did that.
Yeah.
we did already do that.
But for those of you who are still here, who wants to go on a tour of the Dumas brothel with me?
Yes.
Woo! Wouldn't that be so fun as like a meetup?
That
That
would
was
be
someday.
fun. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, that's all I got on the Dumas.
Hell yeah.
It's,
I liked it.
yeah, they're restoring it, and it's really fun.
It's cool that I'm
I mean,
storing it. That's good.
Historical fun.
Historical fun, yeah.
Yeah.
I just am interested in like seeing old buildings no
Same.
matter what. So like
Yes.
yeah.
But this one is nice because they, they embrace the history of it. And I mean, I think we should legalize sex work. I think we could keep people safer, and I think people should do what they want with their own body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to make money with your body,
Then
you should
do
be
it.
able to,
Yeah.
and you should be able to be safe while you do it.
Yes.
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 Anyway,
Yes.
I will not ever get off that soapbox.
As you should not.
Yes. And, yeah.
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 So, fun, haunted brothels.
Haunted
haunted
brothels, haunted
brothels.
basements.
Haunted basement, haunted everything.
Everything's
Haunted
haunted.
everything.
Well,
Such is life.
Yeah.
so we're coming up on our year mark,
Yeah, buddy.
and we're going to do something real fun, and we're doing a giveaway.
Yes.
And we've had to kind of change it up.
Yeah, we're
because
changing
we
the
were way
rules.
too ambitious, and it was way too complicated.
Mhm.
So,
So,
we are the same person.
oh my god.
You just have to guess what's in the envelope.
Mhm.
I'm thinking we're going to give you some fucking clues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what you're guessing in the envelope, if you've never played Clue, is you're guessing the culprit, so who done it.
Mm-hmm.
You're guessing
a weapon.
the weapon, and you're guessing the location.
Mm-hmm.
And we will probably put a list of those locations so you aren't just like, I don't know what
And
location.
we'll drop you some clues.
Yes.
So that you can use your deductive reasoning skills. And even if you just enter, I think we'll put your name in once.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
if you get it right, we'll give you extra names in
Yes.
the receptacle of name drawing.
Yes. How many extras should we give them? Let's decide that so they know.
Let's say if you get it right, you get 3 entries.
3.
If
Three's
you
a good
just
number.
guess, you get 1.
Yes.
Yes. And you have to guess and then tag a friend, and you have to be following us on whatever you're guessing on. So
Whatever
Instagram,
social media.
YouTube, or TikTok.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Anyway, fun. I'm so excited.
I'm so
Yes.
excited. Yes.
Yeah, but watch us on the YouTubes, guys.
Yes.
We have a
And-
sick setup.
We do.
Now, we're in our new
Yeah.
studio
We are in our new studio.
with
Yeah.
professional
Gear
adjacent
and
equipment.
stuff.
Yeah.
We
so-
have a mixer now.
A mixer. If you notice, the sound is better. That's why.
Thank you,
Yes.
Peter.
Thanks, Peter.
Professional Pete helped us with this setup. He did all the research.
Hell yeah.
It was so sweet. He's like, I'm proud of you guys and I
Aw.
want to support you.
Aw,
Cute.
thanks,
Thanks,
Peter.
He's the sweetest. Anyway,
We have socials
we
We
do.
do.
Like we just mentioned, we
We
have
did.
a YouTube
and a
YouTube.
TikTok
and a Blue Sky
and an Instagram
And a Facebook.
and a Tumblr
and a Gmail.
where you can send us your ghost stories.
At seancewithmysiblings@gmail.com.
Everything's at Seance with my siblings.
Everything's
Yes.
at Seance with my siblings.
Everybody.
Join the seance.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Join
Anyway,
the
you're
seance.
already
Good job,
here.
Craig. Good
Yeah.
job, Craig.
keep continue to
joining.
join the Seance to see
Tell-
what shenanigans we get into next.
Mhm.
Tell your spooky friends to join the seance.
Yes.
Tell your spooky friends to enter our giveaway.
Yes.
And you enter our giveaway.
Mhm.
And we're going to do something cool
A
and we're
giveaway.
super excited.
Sorry.
We are
At
doing
the
a
end
giveaway.
of June, we are doing something really cool.
Yes.
And yeah, everybody wave at the microphone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Microphones.
Oh
now.
yeah, shit. We got all of our own microphones.
Hell yeah.
Like grown-up podcasters. Okay. Bye.
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 Ooh.
Skagway. Sky.